Who is liable in an accident with an underage driver? Have you ever wondered what happens if an underage driver gets into an accident? Liability can be a bit tricky in these situations, so let's break it down. When an underage driver is involved in a crash, the first thing to consider is who is driving and what insurance coverage is in place. Generally, the driver is responsible for their actions if they are legally allowed to drive. However, things can get more complicated when it comes to insurance and state laws. Liability coverage in auto insurance is designed to protect drivers and policyholders from financial loss due to accidents. This coverage pays for bodily injury and property damage that the insured driver causes to others. In most states, this coverage is mandatory and applies to all drivers on the policy, including underage drivers added to a parent's policy. If an underage driver gets into an accident, the insurance policy covering them usually responds first. If the teen is listed on a parent's policy, that policy's liability coverage will handle claims up to its limits. This means that if the damages are within the policy limits, the insurance will cover the costs. However, if the damages exceed those limits, or if the underage driver is uninsured, the driver and potentially their parents may be held financially responsible for the excess. It is important to note that many insurance companies requiring all household members of driving is to be listed on the policy. If a parent fails to disclose that an underage driver is living in the household, it could lead to denied claims or even cancellation of the policy. This is why it is crucial for parents to add their teen drivers to their existing auto insurance policy rather than purchasing a separate one. When parents add their underage drivers to their insurance, they are responsible for paying the premiums and ensuring that there is adequate coverage. The liability limits on the policy apply to all drivers listed, meaning that if the underage driver causes an accident, the limits will be shared among all drivers on the policy. In some cases, if the underage driver is behind the wheel of a vehicle owned by someone else, the liability may extend to that vehicle owner's insurance policy as well. State laws can vary, but generally, the driver at fault is liable for damages. Parents may also face liability if they knowingly allow an unlicensed or underage driver to operate a vehicle. To protect against potential financial loss, it is wise for parents to review and possibly increase their liability limits when adding a teen driver. Since teens statistically have higher accident rates, ensuring adequate coverage is essential. Parents should also communicate with their insurance company about any changes in driving status for household members to avoid any coverage issues. In summary, liability in an accident with an underage driver primarily falls on the driver and the insurance policy covering them, which is often the parent's policy. Parents play a key role in ensuring proper insurance coverage and may also bear responsibility if they permit unlicensed or uninsured driving. Understanding how liability coverage works can help families navigate these situations more effectively.